Pearl Harbor Overview. On the morning of December 7, 1940, Japan attacked the U.S. naval base on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. A surprise attack by some 305 Japanese aircraft have sunk or badly damaged 18 of the U.S. naval vessels, including 8 battleships destroyed or damaged, 300 U.S. aircraft, and killed 2,403 men. Across the nation, America was stunned and shocked and angered, turned the attack against the U.S. public's opinion in favor of entering Second World War. The United States declared war on Japan on December 8, 1940. Japan's allies, Germany and Italy, declared war on the United States. On December 11, the United States responded in a kind of therefore entered the World War II. The Pearl Harbor attack. The Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor began before 8 a.m. local time on Sunday morning, December 7, 1941, over an hour into 2 waves of 350 Japanese aircraft have taken off from 6 aircraft carriers. Is 230 miles north of Otoga. Attacked the naval base of the Japanese forces, wreaked havoc on the U.S. naval vessels. In all, 2,403 Americans, including 63 civilians, died on the attack. In comparison, Japan suffered relatively light casualties. They only lost 29 aircraft and the minimum of a few submarines. The American people were shocked and bewildered and surprised, the anger by the attack. On December 8, President Roosevelt addressed the joint session of the attack on December 8th. President-elect's joint session of the Congress Capitol of his words broadcast on the Radio Nation. Yesterday, quote by the way, yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by a naval and air forces by the Emperor of Japan. His address, Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war against Japan, which 3 days later, Japan's allies, Germany and Italy, declared war on the United States, and Congress revoked at the same day. In all domestic opposition, the U.S. entry to the war ceased, and the United States is now at war at two fronts, Europe and the Pacific. The Japanese government decided to attack Pearl Harbor after the United States have cut off its oil supplies to Japan. In summer 1940, Japan relied on the United States of 80% of its oil. Without the U.S. oil supplies, the Navy weren't able to function. In attacking Pearl Harbor, the Japanese hope it will cripple or destroy the U.S. Pacific Fleet, so the Japanese Navy would have a freer region in the Pacific. Japan was also motivated for strategize and buy ideas of creating an Asian called Shakespeare, Asia for Asians, which means the Japanese would take over Asian, the Dutch will catch up, and the war in Europe. Japan believed that indeed in 8 hours following the Pearl Harbor attack, Japan would also attack British-held Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaya, and the U.S. territorial positions of Philippines, Guam, and Wake Island. Foreign warnings about that attack. The United States was caught unprepared at the attack on Pearl Harbor. The things that turned out differently were not so bad or bad luck. The United States had broken the Japanese diplomatic code called MAGIC, and the General George McClellan had decorated and decoded the Japanese message on the very day they would have an attack, had sent a word to the U.S. base in Pearl Harbor, period to the attack, be on alert. The hemisphere delayed the transmission to the Marshall's message. It did not arrive until the attack. Moreover, the United States was known that the Japanese was imminent to attack somewhere in the Pacific, but the U.S. military and the government and personnel thought the Philippines would be the area, somewhere close to the South Pacific, closer to Japan. Unlikely. Pearl Harbor was 3,000 miles away from Japan. It seemed for the U.S. government it would be an unlikely target. Well, they were wrong. What do you think? What's the motive of Japan attacking the U.S. naval base in Pearl Harbor? What will the America respond to the Japanese attack? Do you think the United States would have entered World War II if the Japanese did not bomb Pearl Harbor? Why or why not? Let me know. Comments below. Bye.